it's Imogen and welcome back to Colouring Kid. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video I have a review for you of some Magicfly products. I was contacted by a lovely lady called Cassie from the company asking if I would like to try out some of their products. So I had a look through and these two caught my eye. I did also want to try out the polymer clay, but it ended up not arriving. So I've decided to just do the review with these two instead, because these are directly colouring related anyway. The other one was kind of crafty. So as always with my reviews, I'm going to be giving my honest opinion and sharing what I think of the products. I've also got swatches to show you and an example page as well. So yeah, thank you so much for reaching out, and I'm excited to do this review. So I'm going to start with the colour pencils. So I've got the colour pencils and the watercolour pencils. So we're going to take a look at them separately and then also together a bit. So this is the tin for the 72 pencils. So at first glance, it seems very similar to Arteza pencils. I believe Castle Arts have quite a similar packaging. Quite a lot of kind of budget-friendly pencils have this sort of packaging where you have the picture and then a black band with the name on it. And it says here 3mm break-resistant lead. So on the back we have a swatch here and a bit more information about the pencils. So it says they're professional grade artist quality, as I've said, brick resistant, soft and strong 3mm cores, sturdy comfortable barrels, smooth colour laydown for superior blending and shading, 100% non-toxic, ideal for drawing, illustrating and colouring, pre-sharpened and premium pigments. So Colouring with K has also done a review of these pencils, and one thing that she picked up on that I do also agree with, that I think they could do to improve the packaging with this, is to have the colours in rainbow order, because as you'll see in the tin, they're actually laid out in a different format to how they are on the back. So that's just the thing, personally, I think it would make it a bit easier for us to you know, see them in order. But here it looks like they've done them in number order. Yeah, I think they've pretty much done them in number order, which is why they're in a different order, because it goes from M001 to M072, so that would make sense. And they are also light fast, apparently, so I mean that's good for a budget friendly pencil. So I mean, most of us are colourists anyway, so we're working in books, so it doesn't really matter as much. But let's have a look inside. So as I said, when you open it, oh, the colours are actually in rainbow order. I haven't moved the order of these colours at all. You get, again, the swatch on the inside as well. And we just have some packaging to help protect the pencils. So this is the swatch of them. What I tend to do with sets that I keep in tins like this is I just do the swatch on a piece of card and then keep it in, because I find it's a lot easier. So yeah, these are all of the colours in the order. Sorry, there's a really annoying glare with the light. Now I did get two pumpkin colours. I'm assuming that was just an accidental thing with my set. Doesn't really bother me, but yes, so I don't know which is the other colour that should be in here instead, but I thought I would just point that out. So yeah, really nice range of colours. I do feel like, and this is kind of common with budget-friendly sets, is that some of the colours tend to be quite similar to each other. You know, we've got two browns here that are very similar. Quite a few of these blues are quite similar as well. So the variety overall I feel is good. I think they could possibly have some different colours though to replace the ones that are quite similar. Because again, we've got, I mean, even the oranges here, they're fairly similar, the blues here, that sort of thing. But yeah, overall I like the colour selection, and if you like bright colours and just having fun with pencils, this is definitely a good palette for you. So let's take a look at the pencils. Now these do remind me of Castle Art pencils, because just the way that they are in terms of how the barrel looks. So we've got a black barrel with the name, the light fast and also the number, and then Magicfly on the dipped tip. Not sure how well that's going to show up because it is silver. So in the light it's not very easy to see, and unfortunately it's not focusing very well. Apologies about that. But yeah, it's kind of a matte, really smooth finish on the back, and then it's more of a shiny, like glazed effect on the tip. So they feel nice. Obviously with budget pencils they're not going to feel as heavy or as good quality as, you know, very, very expensive pencils, but for a budget pencil, in terms of the quality of them, they are really good. They sharpen well. Let me just demonstrate that for you. I've got my dial sharpener here. Let's do it on a colour that I haven't sharpened yet. Let's give this one a go. Yep, so no issue with that at all. Very, very nice tip there. And I haven't really had any breakages with these. As I'll explain with the watercolour pencils, some of them were a little bit, oh, what's the word? I've forgotten. Crumbly. Whereas these are more sturdy, and I really like the formula that they've used for the pencils. I think they work very well. So in terms of colouring experience, I really enjoyed using them. So these are the colours in the actual trays. You get 3 trays of 24. They are a little bit difficult to get out. That's just me because I'm not used to them. Here. And of course I wouldn't usually keep pencils in trays, but for sets like this, as I said, that I keep in a tin, it doesn't really bother me because I can't keep buying loads and loads of pencil cases because I don't have enough room. So yeah, I just prefer to keep things in compact tins if I know that you know, I'll just use this set when I want to colour with them. So that's basically the outline of the pencils. I'm going to show you the watercolour pencils, and then I do want to explain some similarities and differences between them. So overall I really enjoyed colouring with these, and I will show you the picture in a moment. Now these are the watercolour pencils. Now at first glance they do look the same in terms of the kind of way they're packaged. The only thing I've noticed, and I do think a thing that probably would make it, oh sorry, I just moved the camera there, make the packaging a bit more consistent, is if they were both in the same packaging. So what I mean by that is, instead of having a longer tin where we've got 2 trays of 36 and 3 trays of 24, if we had it the same, so whether it was both like this set or both like this set, because I feel like colour pencils and watercolour pencils complement each other really well, and it would just make it more I guess obvious to buyers that they are basically the same pencils, apart from the fact that one's watercolour and one's not, because I do believe that the vast majority of the pencils in both of the sets are the same colours. So like with the Arteza pencils, we have, you know, the watercolour and the colour pencil versions which are available to buy. So again, same thing with this. Here are the swatches for you. I've done it on card so that it all fits really nicely. These are a little bit smaller, so it might be hard to fully show you, but I've done a swatch of the pencil and then also a swatch of what it looks like with water. A couple of things to note with this: there is a gold and silver, but they didn't seem to move when I applied water to them, so I don't know whether they're meant to be watercolour pencils or not. I'm not too sure. And a couple of them, I've just put a dot by them, they kind of had the same effect as an Inktense would. The actual pigment seemed to kind of, I don't know, leave a bit of like bit of pigment in the water, and then it kind of dried, and I'm not sure what caused that. Maybe they're just a bit more pigmented than some of them, but I'm not sure if you can see there, just some of it's kind of left behind. So that's something to note. I mean, it's quite a cool texture actually. If you were doing brickwork or something, that might look quite cool. I just thought I'd mention that as well. I want to try and give as much detail as I can in my reviews. So they're all the colours. Again with these, they're in some sort of rainbow order, not fully. if I take the two tins out for you, you can kind of see what I mean. You kind of have some greens here and also some greens there, and you know, same. But I just decided to swatch them in the order they came in because it was easiest for me. This is what one of them looks like sharpened. It did end up crumbling, so I sharpened it anyway. Again, they sharpen really nicely. These are hexagonal instead of round as well. That's something else to note. And overall, I feel the quality of the colour pencils are better than the watercolour pencils. And that's another thing. If I was to improve the sets, what I would possibly do is have these pencils in the same format as the coloured pencil ones, but obviously just the different formula in them, just so that again you can see the correlation between the colour pencil and the watercolour pencil versions. They do come with paintbrushes. I have paintbrushes that I regularly use that I prefer to use instead, so I did use those for my swatching. And also we have a sharpener as well. So I'll just show you one of the pencils again, like I did with the others. I realised I should have done that just now. I forgot to. So again, it has the company Magicfly, the name, the number, well, like the code number, and then the light fastness as well. So pretty much the same. So yeah, that's basically everything I have to show you in terms of the layout of the pencils, what they're like in their packaging. Now, one thing to note, and I do want to mention this because I think it is quite important. The names, I noticed when I was swatching them out, the names are exactly the same as the names from the Arteza pencils. I don't know which pencils came first, you know, whether the companies are linked somehow, but yeah, I just thought it was something to note because they are the same. I do want to test out, and I haven't fully done this yet, just to compare some of the colours. So I'm going to grab a couple to compare and we'll have a look. Okay, so I've picked out a couple of colours. We've got sky blue and peony pink. So for each of the colours, I've got the colour pencil, the Magicfly one, the watercolour version from Magicfly, and then the Arteza, and again, same with the pink. So we're just going to have a look and see how they compare with each other. So this is the Magicfly. That's the sky blue. That's the colour pencil. And then we've got the watercolour version. And they're pretty much the same. I'd say the watercolour one, it's a slightly different formula, so they do kind of look different, but they're basically the same. And yeah, in this instance, the sky blue from the Arteza is very much the same as well. So they're the blues. And then again, we've got peony. Now, with Arteza, they tend to put the name of the colour, sorry, yeah, after the name. So they might have peony pink or just a random one, say like raspberry pink or something. They tend to put the colour after each of the descriptive bits. So for the Arteza one, we've got peony pink, whereas with the Magicfly, we only have peony. And then we've got the watercolour. So you can see here, the watercolour version is completely different to the colour pencil version. So these Magicfly colours are in no way the same. So that's interesting. So there are some differences between the watercolour pencils and the colour pencil. And again, with the peony pink in Arteza, it doesn't match either of the others. So, you know, in some cases we've got very similar colours, whereas we don't with others. So even though the names are the same, the colours are different. So just bear that in mind. I mean, if you like collecting pencils, but like budget pencils, things like that, they're definitely a great one to consider. And they do have differences, as I've said. So that's just interesting to kind of try out the different colours compared to the Arteza. So I will reiterate, obviously, the names are the same. the Magicfly names and the Arteza names are the same, but in some cases the colours are different. So now I'm just going to show you an example picture that I've done. Firstly though, I do have a clip from a couple of weeks back sharing the first layer that I did with watercolour for this picture, so I'm going to insert that now. Hi everyone, so I wanted to show you what I have been up to with these products. So this is the gorgeous Italian version of Birdtopia called In un batter d'ali. I'm not sure if I said that right, I apologise. I was sent this by my lovely colouring friend Valentina from Universe Art, which was incredibly kind of her. And this is what I have been working on so far. I think they worked really well on this paper. This paper is by no means watercolour paper, and I think that they did work really well. This is paper that I'd say that's comparable to Joanna Basford paper, and they all have cream backgrounds, which I really like. Well, most of them do, because it makes everything else pop. I put a light layer down of most of the colours, added a bit of shading here and there. So this is just the watercolour pencil, and I'm planning on going over the watercolour pencil with the colour pencils, but I did just want to show you the progress so far so that you can see what they look like on their own. If I did find the only thing was that if you did put a little bit of too much water, you know, it possibly could bleed through, and also just the fact that if you put too much pigment down of the watercolour pencil, the colour slides around a little bit. It didn't end up mattering for me because I found that I could really pull the colour as far out as I wanted it to go, but I think a light layer works really well. And then I did go in and shade, so I did all of my shading and my layering in one go, and then went over with water. So that's what it's looking like so far, and I will update you once I've put the pencil over the top. So since then I have completed the picture. I did share it on my completed pages for September, and it is here for you. So this is with the pencil added on top, and I really liked colouring this picture. Like, overall the experience with them was great. The watercolour pencils worked really well, they dissolved great. As I said, on this paper they worked well. Since I've, you know, put the book away and had stuff on top of it, it has flattened out quite considerably. But yeah, I thought the pencils worked really well, and in the end I did blend it with a Caran d'Ache blender pencil. I think I have it here. And this worked really well to blend the pencils out. But yeah, I was really impressed with how they worked, and I do really like the colour pencils in particular. I think they're great, and yeah, I had a really enjoyable experience with them. They're slightly different to Artezas in the way they work as well, which is quite nice. So the actual feel of them is different. Let me just try and describe that to you. So the Arteza pencils are very soft. As you know, if you've used them, they're quite a waxy pencil, but they still, you know, hold very well. You don't really get crumbling with them a lot. With the colour pencils from Magicfly, I'd say they're a little bit firmer, very comparable to the Castle Art pencils as well, which I think is good because they're a great pencil. I know lots of people like them. But yeah, they're quite similar. I mean, these don't crumble, whereas I do find with the watercolour pencils, some of them do crumble. It does depend. I mean, you can see this is crumbling quite a bit. That's the nature of watercolour pencils though. They're going to do that, and it's a little bit different because not all of the colours crumble. It's only a few of them. So it's more, I think, reds crumbled quite a lot. But yeah, that's just the nature. And really with watercolour pencils, you're going to be doing quite a light layer if you're doing a base anyway. You know, you're just going to be colouring it like that, applying water. So they work very well for their intended purpose. So that's pretty much everything I have to share with you, really. Again, thank you so much to Magicfly for reaching out to me and asking if I could review their products. It meant a lot, and yeah, I've enjoyed reviewing them. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on the pencils, whether you're going to take a look and add them to a wish list or purchase them. I'm looking forward to continuing to use them, try them out, and yeah, that's all from me. So thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you all in my next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.